Republicans have held a solid majority in the Montana Legislature for more than a decade. That means this year's GOP primaries could play a big role in how next year's legislative session plays out. Across 100 House races and 26 Senate races statewide, 31 feature 2 or more Republican candidates, including 9 where incumbents have drawn challengers. The contested races are spread across Montana from Miles City to Mineral County, with 8 in the Flathead alone. There's one race where 2 incumbent Republicans are facing off. Representatives Geraldine Custer and Barry Usher are both running to represent Senate District 20 in eastern Montana, covering places like Colstrip, Forsyth, and Roundup. Custer is the former longtime Rosebud County clerk and touts her local government experience and knowledge of the area's big issues. Custer has been known to break with Republicans in the legislature, particularly on issues like election laws, where she says her experience as clerk convinced her the state's elections are already secure.
I feel like as a candidate that you're sent there to not compromise your own values and definitely to vote for what's good for your area. And if you've done that, I think at the end of the day, you can rest easy. And I feel like that's what I do. And sometimes, yes, it goes against what the party does.
Usher owns several businesses selling motorcycles, tractors, and off-road vehicles. He's a strong conservative who favors stricter regulations on voter ID and registration and says more checks and balances are needed on Montana judges' authority. He claims Custer is out of step with what the district wants.
It's pretty easy and clear. You just have to look up our voting records. And I mean, we differ on the majority of our votes. I'm clearly conservative Republican voting Montana values, and my opponent is not.
In House District 97, which covers Lolo and rural parts of Missoula County, 2 Republicans are running for an open seat. Lynn Hellegard is the executive director of Missoula-Ravalli Transportation Management Association and a former Missoula City Council member. Michael Burks owns a number of businesses and is a volunteer pilot with the nonprofit Angel Flight West. Hellegard says her top priorities are addressing the impacts of inflation and rising property taxes. She's also been part of a Missoula County effort that raised questions about the integrity of mail ballots during the 2020 election. County officials have contested those claims. MTN has reached out to Burks but hasn't received a response. According to his campaign website, he wants to address property taxes, the cost of living, crime rates, and homelessness. On Facebook, he pushed back against claims about election integrity and said voters should participate and be confident their votes will be counted. Hellegard says she believes there's room for Republicans to work out their disagreements within the party.
You can have a differing opinion and get those arguments and discussions out, which help our constituents understand what's going on. So I'm for the discussion. And that's one thing about the Republicans. We typically don't vote the party line.
On Friday, we'll bring you a closer look at some of the Democratic primaries and legislative races. And stay with MTN for full coverage of all the primary contests through Election Day, June 7th. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.